Welcome back to another episode of the Real Bourbon Bros podcast, the essential podcast for the novice yet curious whiskey enthusiast.
Welcome back in. I am Gary, that is Steve. We are the Real Bourbon Bros.
The Real Bourbon Bros, yes. Coming to you in the hot, swelty Michigan.
It's summer around the country.
Finally full swing here.
Exactly. Well, we're lucky enough this evening to be joined by an individual who is notorious for a few different avenues of not only food, but whiskey. So a very versatile gentleman, Carey Bringle, pitmaster, distiller, founder of Peg Leg Porker. And we have some samples which we'll try tonight of his. So, Carey, welcome in. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate being here and looking forward to it.
All right, perfect. Yeah, excellent. We anytime we have whiskey that we can try, new whiskey that we haven't really tried a lot before, something new and different, that's always a great evening for us or a great day for us. So thank you again for that. We're going to definitely do a little bit of live sampling tonight with these bottles you sent us. But before we get into the whiskey, obviously we're a whiskey-based podcast, but obviously we like to talk about everything that our guest brings to the show. So for those who don't know a lot about you, maybe some of you in our audience, Carey, can you kind of give them a little backstory of how you became who you are today? Maybe start with your where you grew up and how you got involved in barbecue, and then we'll get into the whiskey later.
Sure, absolutely. I'm Carey Bringle from Nashville, Tennessee, and I own Peg Leg Porker brands, and that includes restaurants and retail and wholesale food products and spirits company and clothing and all the above. We're a full lifestyle brand. I'm born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee, but my family's all from West Tennessee. And so the barbecue roots came from that West Tennessee background, and my family was from Covington and from Memphis. And so, although I grew up in Nashville, we traveled back and forth to Memphis and usually got our barbecue down there.
Nice.
At the time, there were not a whole lot of prominent Nashville barbecue places. And so that's where that love came in. My uncle competed in the very first Memphis in May. I learned from him and from my granddaddy Jack on my mama's side. And then I started competing in Memphis in May and cooked down in Memphis for 33 years.
Wow.
And we won, several awards down there and did well. And it kind of got in my blood. It was something that I really wanted to do. I had a bourbon sponsorship with Jim Beam Black. So worked with Beam for a long time, still do. They're still close friends, and we do stuff together. I thought that, 13 years ago, I opened my restaurant. I was in healthcare and I was in technology, and I finally decided to go into my passion, which was barbecue, and opened up the Peg Leg Porker, which is our flagship restaurant.
Yep.
We're 100% family owned and operated. And then 6 months after we started that, we started the bourbon company. I had an opportunity to buy a batch of bourbon. My buddy knew that I wanted to start my own spirits company, and so I was able to do that. And the name Peg Leg Porker comes from the fact that I literally have one leg. So I am a Peg Leg Porker. And so I lost my leg to osteogenic sarcoma at age 17, the summer before my senior year.
Wow.
And I was able to overcome that cancer with the help from family, friends, and church, and here we are today. I turned it into a lifestyle brand, and hopefully we can spread some joy and some happiness and some good times with the bourbon and the barbecue.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a great story. I was going to say, most of our users probably don't know where the peg leg comes from, but you just explained it. It's unfortunate, but you made something, I guess, lemons into lemonade, I guess.
So I'm a lucky man,
Yeah, very lucky.
Awesome. No, I think your journey, from your humble roots, and then the trials you went through, unfortunate with the osteosarcoma, to where you are now is just, kind of the American dream, right? Of overcoming and picking yourself up and surrounding yourself with good people, good family, good food, and now obviously good whiskey. So for those fans, and just a shout out those in Nashville, Tennessee, definitely if you're in a good barbecue, even if you're not in a good barbecue, you should check out Peg Leg Porker in Nashville. I want to shout you guys out right away. I've been through by your shop a few times. I'll be honest, I have not stopped. So the next time I'm in town, promise I will stop.
All right.
Definitely.
Yeah, we've got Peg Leg, and then we've also got Bringle Smoking Oasis, which is our Texas-style place.
Oh, okay. Look at that. Variety. I love the variety. And you have the tasting room now, too, correct?
We have a tasting room open, and then we've also got Pig Star in the airport on the Beacon course, and then we own part of a deli with another family, Levon and Kim Wallace, called Fat Belly Pretzel and Deli.
Wow. You are everywhere.
Yeah.
And I definitely have heard about the whiskeys before, but I didn't know you were so spread out, in terms of everything else. So that's amazing. So I think sending us these bottles and doing a little research on not only you and your whiskey, I definitely would like to dive into a little bit about the whiskey here. So how did you
distilling, blending?
Yeah, exactly.
All that good stuff. Gary, you just go away. Go for it.
No, I was just taking the lead. Steve, I'll give you the next few. That origin, that passion for whiskey and bourbon, where did that come from? Was it just something you had from the family, or?
I was always a bourbon drinker, and so during college, I think I drank Jim Beam White Label, and then I got out of college and I started drinking probably Maker's Mark, and then I found Van Winkle, and I would drink at Van Winkle 12-year-old Special Reserve, and I'm 57. When I got out of college, you could buy it all day long for $35 a bottle. Nobody knew the Van Winkle name. They couldn't give it away. Wow. And certainly the 20 and the 23-year-old bottles would sit on the shelf with dust on them, and the liquor store owners would beg you to take them. And they'd look at you and say, Carey, nobody's ever going to pay $100 for a bottle of bourbon. That's ridiculous. Yeah. It ain't ever going to happen. And so it started getting a little too oaky for me, so I stopped drinking it. And then Jim Beam Black offered to be a sponsor of my barbecue team. I started drinking Jim Beam Black, and I really liked it. And they made a great product, and they were great partners. We thought we might do something with them at some point, but they're just too big, and it was just every time you'd get an advocate in there, they'd be scrambling for their job in November, and then the whole deal was shot. So when I had the opportunity to buy my own batch, I did, and then we released it, and it was a hit in Tennessee. And so after that, I really wanted to put my signature and my flavor on it. And so I developed a process that nobody else was doing, where we filter through hickory charcoal after we debarrel the bourbon. And so people expected me to have a smoked product or a real smoky product, and I don't like smoked liquors. I don't like smoked beers. Because brewers and distillers are not pit masters. They don't understand smoke. They don't know how to control it. They don't know what comes off of it when they burn it. And all of that gets washed into the mash, and it gives it some tastes that are not so great most of the time. It's bitter and acrid. And I'm not a Scotch drinker, so I don't even like that peaty Scotch flavor.
Yeah,
and,
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
And so I decided to filter through hickory charcoal, where we've already burned off all the pollutants on the wood, and now you're just getting the pure essence of that charcoal. It's filtering out some impurities, but it's also imparting a little bit of that barbecue flavor without it being smoky. And that's worked well for us. In 2023, our white label won World's Best Bourbon in the Tasting Alliance's World Championship, which they had never held before then, and they have never held it since then. And the way that they did it is they took the best in class from San Francisco, New York, and Singapore, and they put all three head to head. and we got beat by Frank August in San Francisco, but we won Singapore. And then when they put the three of us against each other for the final, we took the title, and it's something that nobody's done before then or done since, because they stopped doing it. The next year we had 2 best in classes, and we thought, oh, we got 2 entries in this thing now, and they were like, no, we're not doing it.
I think I just saw one of your bottles winning platinum. I think in the
just
California.
won platinum in the SIP Awards for design on our Pitmaster Reserve. We won double platinum at the Ascot Awards with our full proof. Our 8-year-old is up for best in class from San Francisco. It won a double gold and a platinum because it's won double gold for the past 4 years. And our 12-year-old just got the very top award at the World Whiskey Awards, I think it was, with a score of 97 points.
Outstanding. That's
nice. We just got written up in Esquire, India.
That exists?
Wow.
Yeah, evidently it does. There's some men about town in India that like their whiskey.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I have to admit, I'm in Michigan, by the way, and I don't think it's distributed here in Michigan, which is why I probably never
I don't know
heard.
if we're up there yet.
No, not yet.
Control state?
Yes.
Okay, we'll be there soon. We've signed on with the Southern Glacier for all the control states. So at the end of last year, we were in 15 states, and now we're in, I think, 26, and probably by the end of the year, we'll be in about 36.
Nice.
Yeah,
I have to introduce it to. I might have a little bit left here from the samples that I have. I have to introduce this to some of the my store owner friends that I have up here and see what they think. So, do you I guess I got a couple questions, Gary, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, monopolized the time there a little bit.
No, I know. We just roll with our questions. We're pretty informal about this. We don't follow a script or anything. But so you mentioned about the post barrel process, but whiskey sourced, is it Tennessee whiskey or is it going to be from other?
No, it's distilled and aged here in Tennessee. And so we're a non-distilling producer. We always have been. We've never been shy about telling people that.
Got it.
We've got a great distilling partner that we work with, that we've worked with for a long time. They're right down the road, and I was friends with them and knew them before they ever built the facility, and now they're the second largest distillery in the state of Tennessee, and only do contract product. And they have done an outstanding job for us. And then with our process of finishing.
Right.
We've won, I don't know, 65, 75 awards in the last 8, 10 years. So
It's working.
it's working. We've won about everything you can win. We're pretty happy with it. Almost every one of our expressions. So that's been great.
So you're pitmaster, distiller. Which type of bourbon goes the best with ribs?
Well, I drink our white label every day. And so I drink the white label with ginger beer, which is, we call it a pork and stormy. Yeah. And that's what I'm drinking, a pork and stormy right now. And, that's our base bottle. That's our $45 bottle. Yep. That's very approachable. It's a 90 proof. It's an 80-10-10 mash bill. And it goes great with ribs. Just about any bourbon goes well with ribs or with brisket. At Peg Leg, we don't serve brisket, but we do over at my Smoking Oasis, and it's really fatty. And so, that higher proof, that full proof would really go well with brisket because that higher proof will really cut through that fat. And that's what's nice about drinking bourbon with barbecue.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think, Gary and I are both cast strength bourbon drinkers.
Yeah. So looking forward to that one. I for the record, I haven't tried any of these. So as we're chatting here, I'm just kind of giving a little trial as we go down. So the Yeah, the Tennessee Straight, I guess this is the white label, the 45 alcohol by volume, 90 proof. You said about $45 for this bottle.
Yeah.
Do you guys ship throughout certain states? You said
We
only
do. You
certain
can
states?
go on our website and we ship. We
Okay.
have to go through a third party out of New York, but we do ship.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, definitely. I just had a few sips of this one, the white label here, and this is something I definitely can see as a mixer. You can have this straight. It's a very, with a cube. You can have it neat. I always like trying whiskeys the first time I have them neat in a little glass, Glencairn type glass, just to get the full experience from what you intended me to taste, smell, and experience with it. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'll be honest, I have not had a product before with that hickory charcoal finish or filtering that you guys
Because
do.
nobody's ever done it.
Right,
No,
I've never had it.
So I've got to catch up to you guys, I think. So this, I think, is the Tennessee Straight bourbon whiskey, the white label, I think.
Yeah, I sent you the key.
I know. What's then the second one,
That's nice.
that's the barrel proof. The green label or the blue label?
The full proof is the Tiffany
Full
Blue
proof.
label.
This
God,
one here,
full
yes,
proof.
Steve.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
you covered up the
120
label. I couldn't
That's
see it.
120 proof.
Nice.
And that is a fan favorite. That won double platinum at the Ascot Awards.
Yeah, this is up our right up our alley right here. This is usually we like stuff at least north of 110. So
Well, but the nice thing about that bottle is although it's 120 proof, it drinks about like a 90.
perfect.
It's really not that hot.
That's how you know it's a great whiskey, in our opinion. Very nice. And the mash bill on the full proof
That's an 80-10-10 as well.
as well. Okay, very good. Well, I'm going to have a little sip of this as well.
Well, I got to catch up. So.
Come on, Steve, catch up. What are you doing over there?
You only sent me these little.
Here we go.
So,
Here we go. Excuses.
I've got the little
already.
baby bottle here that.
Here you got the full bottles. Steve,
But I sent them samples. I sent him the
Minis.
samples.
Yeah, Gary got he gets the big bottles,
Well,
but sometimes I get the big
they
bottles.
don't ship to Michigan.
I guess not. Huh? Well, that's a good excuse.
Carey, I'm in Florida, so Florida, there's like no restrictions down here. It's the Wild West of everything. It's great.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
And it's a pretty big whiskey community too. Here I'm in Tampa. It's a huge whiskey community. So.
We've done very well in Florida with the ABC stores.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. The ABC's controversial down here. We'll get into that, but yeah, I shop there all the time. But they have a stranglehold on some of the whiskey they get in there. Nobody else can sell it, but all around and very convenient and good pricing. So, and I actually did since I had received these, I did walk in there the other week and I did see a couple. I think it was the white label there. So I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, we're going through a distributor change, so we've had a little bit of a hiccup down there in the market.
Nice. Oh yeah.
A little bit of a fire on that. I'm not sure.
Are you on the white label still, Steve?
No, I'm
Foolproof.
past that. Just the full proof one.
He passed it.
I mean, the nose is extremely subtle, and it surprises you. The palate is outstanding, though.
Yes. Cinnamon.
Yeah, cinnamon. Yes.
Yeah, that's a word.
Not quite. Cinnamon. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's whenever I initially taste that, I'm thinking rye, but no, this is a great bourbon.
Thank you.
I think there's a lot of different flavors, a lot of complexity to it. Is there a age statement on the full proof by chance?
The full proof is going to be between 4 and 6 years old.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say there's some complexity there that usually comes with a little more aging.
That batch is probably out of some 6-year-old barrels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's nice. And that's a good age group, I think. If you get too much age on it, especially with the barrel proof, it can get pretty oaky.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's perfect. Oh, I like that. Yeah. That's a really good pour right there. Yeah, I could see this, like a little nightcap by the fire after you've had some dinner, maybe. Just kind of, finish the palate off. That's a delicious pour right there.
Thank you.
I mean, these are great, but the one I've been most excited about is the Spirit of America, just because we did celebrate the 250th anniversary of our great country, limited edition. What can you tell us about this bottle, Carey?
Yeah, so I had one of my friends that I'd known for about 11 years that had wanted to work with us for a long time came to me, and he's a broker that's been in the industry for 40 years. His dad was in the industry for 40 years, and they had trademarked the Spirit of America for bourbon and for liquor. And so he brought me the idea, and he said, I think that this is a perfect fit for Peg Leg Porker. And, as we talked about earlier, the American dream, I've lived the American dream. I overcame cancer at a young age. I was able to move on. I was able to build a brand out of it, become one of the top pitmasters in the country, and then become a world-class bourbon producer. And, now I'm about to go into the Barbecue Hall of Fame in the 2026 class.
Wow.
And so, everybody's got either a story of their own or they've got a story of a family member that embodies the spirit of America. And so while a lot of producers produced a America 250 bottle, we produced the Spirit of America bottle because we're going to produce it every year. We're going to have an LTO with Spirit of America every year because the American spirit doesn't end when you turn 250. It was there before we turned 250.
Yeah.
And so the differentiator between our bottle and what other people are doing this year is that next year they're probably not going to have anything that celebrates America. And we think America is worth celebrating every day.
Yes.
And I feel like I've lived what is the spirit of America, and so many more people have and can relate to that. And so we're proud of that bottle. It's 100 proof, bottled and bond.
Yep, bottled and bond.
We felt strong about making it that is such a traditional. Well, it's really the first Consumer Protection Act that was passed in the United States to protect against bad whiskey. And so it's got a lot of meaning behind it. And it's been outstanding. We've got an outstanding response to it. We did a toast on July 4th at 7:06.
Nice.
And we had a lot of people join into that toast all around the country. At Morgan Wallen's bar in Nashville, they all did a big toast. And so it's a great bottle. And we'll continue to sell it through the end of the year. And then next year, we'll come out with a new Spirit of America version that we honor something else, or we have a different label that's going to, maybe it's Fallen Heroes, maybe it's something else. And the other great thing about that bottle is that a portion of the proceeds from every bottle that we sell goes to Hardy Hog's Veterans Barbecue Camp. And it's a camp that I've taught at before. And, when service members come home, sometimes they're isolated. Sometimes they don't know what to do with themselves because they've been part of a close-knit team that they lived with, everything. And it's hard for a lot of these veterans when they come home. And what Hardy Hog's Veterans Barbecue Camp does is they take those guys, they bring them into a camp, they teach them how to cook barbecue, they give them a smoker, and they give them a purpose. Yeah. Now they can go and they can cook for their family and friends, and now they've got a new group of guys that they can communicate with and associate with and hang out with, and it saves some of these guys' lives.
Wow.
I mean, some of these guys that were on the brink of making some bad decisions about their life, it turned it around, and it's really a great cause, and we're super excited to be associated with them and give them some money from this project because we feel strongly about it. And there's a lot of great charities, but this is a smaller charity that the money really means something. Yeah. We could give to Tunnel and Towers, we could give to Wounded Warriors, but they're huge organizations that get millions and millions and millions of dollars. This is a Nashville-based organization that really gives back, but they want to start doing these camps all around the country. And so it's pretty special to us.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And if that doesn't motivate our audience to
It's a great cause.
look for this bottle, America's 250th, Spirit of America. Definitely buy this. I mean, we're just telling you right now, it's not only a very, very good pour. I love how smooth this is, and just goes down very.
It's the best nose out of the three, Gary. I think.
What's that?
It's the best nose out of the three.
Yeah. I like the finish on it too. It's just a simple sipper that you can sip all day, and the cause that you're supporting when you purchase this bottle, second to none. So, the Real Bourbon Bros, this bottle, twofold: great taster and a great cause. So, Carey, that's awesome. Yeah, I love this one. This was not gonna pick favorites, but.
It's got some. To me, it's got some really good floral notes.
I'm gonna pour a little more. Try a little bit more at a time. My sips are pretty small, but yeah,
It's
I like
the
this.
cherry blossom or something.
Like them all, but yeah, cherry blossom. Interesting.
Yeah, like cherry blossom florals.
Well, that's like.
It's got less of a zing than the foolproof, but it's still got something there for at 100 proof. It is a great sipper.
It is a great sipper. It lingers on the back
all night.
Yeah, that's nice.
Good.
Well, these are great. All three of these are outstanding. Definitely can recommend all of them to our audience. If they ship to your state, great. If not, go visit Tennessee.
Yes. I'm
Yeah,
definitely
we're out there in 26 states. You can go. I just redid our website.
Yep.
And so you can go out there and check them out, all the expressions. There's some expressions that we only have available in our tasting room in Nashville. So if you get to Nashville, come and see us. And we've got some single barrels there, and we've got some wine cast finish there. And then our Pitmaster Reserve is out there in the market. We did one about 4 or 5 years ago that was a 15-year-old Tennessee straight bourbon. At I think 103 proof. It's in the presentation case with the peg leg pig topper.
Nice.
And this last year's was a 15-year-old rye that was double oaked on American white oak.
Yeah.
And it's in a different case, a different color, same peg leg pig topper, but that topper's in a different color. I think this is it right here. That's the outer case there.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
And now it's for the collectors. It's a $400 bottle, so it's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it is outstanding product. And unfortunately, sometimes people get scared away by the fact that it says rye, but that rye right there, being double oaked on American white oak, drinks as much like a bourbon as anything, and it's just got a little bit of hint of that pepperiness,
The different toppers. Are you trying to do something like the Blanton toppers, like and collect them all, or?
They're the same. They're in the same configuration, but they're different colors each time.
Oh, different colors. Okay.
And the bottle is a screen printed bottle, but it's a different color and different, different design on it. And the case is a different color than it was the last time. And so we try and mix it up so that if people are collecting, then they've got different bottles for every different year that we put it out.
Yeah, that's pretty unique. I love hearing stories like that. It's a way to get a following of bourbon drinkers that love your product and can instantly relate to other bourbon drinkers and tell a story about it.
Yeah, no, it's a great pour and a great bottle. And you sometimes you get people that say, I can't believe you priced that thing at $400. I really wanted to buy a bottle. And you guys say, well, you know what? We make bottles across the spectrum, so we make something that everybody can afford. But not everybody is going to be able to afford a $400 bottle, and we're not expecting you to go buy it. And I did a tasting one time during COVID, a remote tasting, and they asked me and they said, well, why didn't you make this a higher proof or whatever, or make it a single barrel or what? And I said, well, here's the deal. I can get a premium for a higher proof, or I can get a premium for a higher age, or I can get a premium for a single barrel. But I can't get a double or a triple premium. It doesn't work like that. And so these are the economics of the bourbon business that people need to understand. Mm-hmm. And when I go with a higher proof, I get a lower yield. So I get less bottles out of that barrel. And, when I go with a higher age, I get a lower yield. Yep. And I get less bottles out of that barrel. And it was funny that these people were kind of shocked by me telling them that. And they were like, well, nobody's ever told us that. And I said, well, then nobody was ever being fucking honest with you like I am. I'll right. Tell you the truth. I've got nothing to hide. Those are the economics of the business. And that's exactly what we have to understand as producers and, and as the seller. And the customer needs to understand that, hey, the price that you see on the shelf, I sold that bottle for 50% of that. And then I had to pay taxes on top of that. And that bottle gets taxed 3 times before it hits your lips. And so, when you look at what's going on out in the market, a lot of times at these higher prices in the retail, that's not the wholesaler, that's the retailer a lot of times. And it used to be that they did not do that, and they would not mark it up past what the spirits company said was the recommended MSRP. But nowadays, those bets are all off the table. They take the rare bottles, and some of them will mark it up a fortune. And, so just be comfortable with the store that you're buying from. A lot of stores still go by that same rule and say, hey, we're gonna offer it at the price that it's suggested. Maybe we have a lottery if we got a lot of people that want the bottles, but we're going to try and do it a fair way. And I would say that you really want to try and do business with stores that want to do it the fair way and the right way and take care of their regular customers rather than trying to gouge somebody for a one-time sale.
Yeah. Amen.
So speaking of like single barrels and so forth, do you have stores coming in or clubs coming in for like barrel picks as well?
We have people dying to, and they want to, and we haven't done it. We've done about 3 or 4 single barrels, but we've sold them all at the tasting room. We are about to bottle about 4 barrels of 6-year-old single barrel, and then we're doing a barrel of 10-year-old single barrel, and then a barrel of, I think it's 12-year-old single barrel, maybe 13 years old. And so we'll have those. We're doing the labels for them right now. And whether we release some of those other than the tasting room or not, I don't know. We will probably start into more of a single barrel program this year. And because we've expanded and we have a lot of states asking for it, so these programs, for the consumers that don't know, they can go 2 ways. You can have a group come in and they can sample several things and make their pick, and then it gets blended or it gets, just bottled. The other way is, and the way that we usually do it is when we bring in a batch of barrels and we decide we want to do a few single barrels, my chemist, Neil, who runs all my operations at my facility, will go around and pick out maybe 8 or 10 samples. And then he'll taste them and he'll write down his picks, and he won't tell me his picks. And then he'll send them home with me, and then I'll taste them. And I'll make my picks, and then I'll make my wife taste them, who's not a bourbon drinker, but she is like a smeller. So she's got like a extra sensory sense of smell. And usually she and I land on the same picks, and usually my chemist and I land on the same picks. And then that's how we pick which barrels we're going to hold out to be single barrels.
Got it. All right. And then
so if we offer them this year to some of our stores, it's probably going to be, hey, we've picked out these single barrels. Here they are. Tell me which one you'd like to have. It's already bottled and already,
Nice.
But you get into a lot of money and a lot of hassle when you try and have them come in and do the whole. We're just not big enough and don't have enough staff to handle that type of an operation.
Yeah. I guess I have a question about piggybacking about, what you've been doing recently and now maybe what's coming up in the future. I guess leads into my question. What's next? Maybe some store picks. What else is on the horizon?
I think we're going to do, and you're the first that we've told this to.
Exclusive.
It's an exclusive. I think we're going to do a legacy series before OND, before October, November, December.
Okay.
So I think we will have one more LTO before the end of the year, and I think we're going to make it a legacy series. Nice. I've got some Kentucky barrels that I purchased, and so we may do a blend of Kentucky and Tennessee.
Oh.
And I might even throw in some of that 15-year-old rye to kind of spice it up a little bit. We're going to experiment with them, and we're going to see what hits and what produces a great product. And then we will probably do a legacy series before the end of the year to have another LTO.
Got it.
And that'll kind of be a celebration of the Hall of Fame and just some different landmark things that happen with the brand or with, other pitmasters or other people in the industry or just, people that we think are legacy builders, No,
that's a great idea. That'd be a perfect occasion for the Hall of Fame induction. I love how that would come together. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, love it. Steve?
No, I'm just thinking about how everything is pulling together with the barbecue and the bourbon and, having, to me, it just, that's like a family event, right? And so I can only imagine, Carey, at your house, not only do you have the bourbon behind you, but you probably have a variety of different barbecue essentials there. Your smokers and your grillers, right?
I got a lot of smokers. I have several that I've built. That we had a line of smokers that we built called the BMF 200 and the BMF 100.
Oh, wow.
And then we've got eggs, and we've got asados, and we've got just about every kind of cooker you could want. We used to call my backyard Sanford and Bringle because we were back there welding smokers together from old refrigerators.
Wow.
But we've got the gambit. Like I said earlier, I'm a very lucky man, and I tell people that I'm not your super technical bourbon guy. I'm a bourbon drinker. I'm a bourbon lover and a bourbon producer. And if you want to ask me what you're going to taste on the palate, I'm not the guy. I don't get into the weeds that deep because you got different taste buds than I've got, and everything's going to taste different to everybody. But if you want to sit down with a bottle of my bourbon and have a bunch of drinks, and I'll tell you some stories that you may or may not believe, but I can tell you they happened, and we'll have a hell of a good time. And that's the kind of pit master and bourbon maker that I am. Is I'm one that is about as damn real as you come. I'm gonna tell it to you like I see it, and not pull any punches. And that's who we are as a brand. We're just straightforward, and we like to have a good time, and we like to enjoy ourselves. And that's why bourbon and barbecue fit right in that mold. When you got all that time to cook barbecue, you got to do something. And normally we get drunk on bourbon. That's what we do.
That's all near the brisket, yeah. So, no, it was interesting, Carey. So, just I think today I saw like Hard Truth up in Indiana. They're having a barbecue cook-off.
Yeah.
I don't know if you are you still competing in that area, in that space, in the
I don't
barbecue?
really compete much anymore. And, I've been on about 35 or more TV shows, and
Yeah.
I've done
Nice.
the competition shows, and I've been a judge on those shows. And I just, everything's not a competition. What I really enjoy about barbecue is the time to spend with my family and friends and
Hmm.
hang out and visit. And barbecue's got an amazing community, and so does bourbon. That's
Yep.
great. They're very similar in two ways. We both have outstanding communities of people that really care about each other and that don't feel like we're really competing as much as we on every cup that we sell at Peg Leg for our soft drinks. It says it's not a requirement for you to hate somebody else's barbecue in order to love mine.
Yep.
And so don't come in to my place dogging my buddy who's, my competitor who's probably my close friend
Yeah.
because we're such a tight knit community. So you get the great bourbon and the barbecue lovers who all get along, but you also get that line of snobs. You get that, you get it in both of them.
Can't
And you
avoid
get the
that.
people wanting to come in and tell you how you should do it. And, I say, hey, go for it. If you think you could start a spirits company and you can make it, then you can go for that. You need to have two things: deep pockets and big cojones. And if you don't have those two things, you're probably not going to make it, my friend.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's great.
Oh,
That's great advice, a great outlook for sure.
Great success story of yourself, Carey. So it's proof in the pudding there. So
Yeah,
exactly.
You've
Hey,
lived it.
I guess Gary, we got a few quick hitters.
Yeah, Carey. Thanks so much for your time. We're already running over here. Sorry about that. We have some quick hitters we always like to ask all our guests. Just simple questions, one or two sentences in terms of answer, even words. So the first question is if you can recall your first legal whiskey drink. Like, what type of whiskey was it? Do you remember the brand, the pour?
It was probably Jim Beam and Coke.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Classic.
He led us to a lot of those answers earlier, but
Yeah.
something that we always have to ask, right?
Yeah, and the second one is if you had to pick, I probably already know your answer, but I don't want to answer it for you. If you had to pick one type of whiskey that you could have the rest of your life, only that specific type of whiskey, rye, bourbon, American whiskey, Scotch, Japanese, what would you pick?
I'm a bourbon drinker through and through.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, very good.
Nice to hear that from someone from Tennessee. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, in another question, we try to aspire to the novice yet curious whiskey enthusiast. My brother and I started this podcast because, of our love and our growing passion for, the bourbon culture out there, and we always get questions from our listeners and family and friends about this bourbon or that bourbon. How do you get started? And what kind of advice would you give someone starting out in their bourbon journey?
Yeah, I'd say have fun. Don't take it too serious. I mean, we're not curing cancer here. We're drinking bourbon. I'm cooking barbecue. That's what I tell my staff. I said, this isn't rocket science. We're not curing cancer here. We're cooking barbecue. Same with bourbon. Don't get too caught up in too much of the hype, in too much of the hunting, and too much of the expensive bottles. There's so many great bottles out there. The great thing about bourbon and about barbecue is that there's so much good stuff out there that sometimes it's harder to find the bad stuff than it is the good stuff. And right now, especially with a glut on the market, you got a lot of really great juice out there. There's a lot of great producers. There's a lot of people who care about it. And, but like I've said, I tell my friends, I said, if I'm not drinking Peg Leg Porker, I'm usually drinking Jim Beam Black, or I might be drinking Maker's Mark. They're excellent products. They're within reach, and I drink them. I drink them often, and so look for something that you like. Don't.
Right.
That's the other thing is don't let somebody else tell you what you like or try and guilt you into liking something or making you feel stupid because you don't like something. It's like Gary said earlier, you know, when I look at the sweet spot for bourbon, I think 8 years old. That's around the sweet spot for bourbon for me before it gets too oaky, you know, and I love our 12-year-old bottle. I think it's great. There's some 12-year-old bottles that I will not drink that are very famous brands that are way, way, way oaky. And, you know, so some people love that oakiness. You know, we produced a bottle of rye that was an 8-year-old rye that was very, very earthy. It drank like a scotch. Now, I will not drink that bottle. I don't like it. I can't stand it. But we won awards with it. We had, my son loves it. Scotch drinkers absolutely relate to it and love it. And so, you know, everybody's got a different palate. Drink what you like. I won't drink that bottle. My son will. We sold out of it. Hell, people loved it, you know, because some people like that.
Yeah.
Great advice, Carey. Great advice. And it kind of exemplifies and reinforces what we know and love about the culture as well. I mean, it's a great advice. Great answer.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, Carey, thank you. I mean, we could probably stay here and talk to you for another hour or two, but obviously we all have things to do.
Well,
Or
just
maybe
have
not.
me on again, and I'll send y'all a bottle of that Pitmaster Reserve.
Oh, please.
10-year-old rye. I think you'll like it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I definitely would look. We will never say no to some good samples of whiskey. I'll tell you that. Yeah, that 15-year double oak, you know, rye. But no, thanks, Carey. Appreciate it. Again, everybody. What's that, Steve? Yeah, thanks for your time, everybody. If you're in Tennessee, Nashville, or anywhere in Tennessee, Kentucky, anywhere in that area, get down to Nashville. Peg Leg Porker, tasting room, barbecue. You hear us stores all over the state there. Buy any of these bottles that we sampled tonight and reviewed tonight. Highly recommend any of these pours. Great for all occasions, and especially this Spirit of America, probably my personal favorite. So again, Carey, thanks so much. Congratulations on your Hall of Fame induction, and we'll hopefully talk to you maybe again sometime, and we'll see you. We'll stop by and see you.
Love it.
Thanks so much, guys. Steve and Gary, thank you. Y'all have a great night. It's great to see you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Carey. Appreciate it. You too. Bye-bye.
Giddyup.
Enjoy.